Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a mortgage update and let you guys know where I am in the process of paying off my mortgage early. So if you haven't seen the first video that I made, I'm gonna go ahead and link it down below for you guys to check out. Anyways, so as far as my mortgage goes, I have had my mortgage for the past 2.5 years and I'm currently 28 years old and my goal is to pay it off by 31. And kind of in this crisis right now where a lot of us don't know if we're gonna keep a job or not. I do work for a hospital. Actually, I work for 2 hospitals and I do imaging like x-rays, bone densities, mammograms and things like that. So as of right now, I do still have a job, which I'm very, very grateful for. Our hours have been changing. They've been cutting our hours and things like that. So I've been kind of holding back on putting money towards the mortgage as aggressively as I have been. Right now, I'm just kind of saving everything up. So once this whole thing kind of settles down, then I can start back paying the mortgage again. I first got my mortgage back in October of 2017 and I paid $150,580 for my home. I do live in a townhouse in Georgia. And around this time, I hadn't heard about Dave Ramsey as yet to learn about the baby steps, but I knew that I did want to pay off my mortgage early just from hearing my mom talk about it and things like that. So initially when I got the mortgage, I was putting like $100 every month extra towards it. And then I got into a whole bunch of debt with buying furniture and things like that. Again, if you haven't seen that video, I'll link that down below as well, how I got out of $20,000 worth of debt. So I found Dave Ramsey, I found his baby steps, and I went through all of the baby steps up until baby step number 6. That's the step I'm on right now, and that step you pay off your mortgage. So I've been super aggressive the last 2.5 years. I have paid down over $60,000 in interest and in principal. So that's a lot of money. I've been super aggressive with it because I just really wanted to be completely done and I would like to do it within 5 years. So that's why I wanted to do it by the time, or pay it off by the time I'm 31 years old. I know a lot of people with a 30-year mortgage that paid the same price I did for the mortgage and they are paying on it now 20 years in, and I just don't want to do that because when I did the math and I looked at it, it was insane how much money is going towards interest. Like, I'm appreciative, yes, that the bank let me have this money so that I could, you know, get a home. Also don't want to give them $150,000 in interest because honestly that's about how much you're paying. If you got a $150,000 house, you're paying back about $150,000 in interest plus the principal. Like, that's a $300,000 for a home. Like, that's crazy, you know? So I just decided that I wanted to pay my house off as fast as I can, and up until this point I've been pretty aggressive with paying it down, but with everything going on, it's now April 2020. I think for right now I'm just gonna kind of hold off because I mean I do work in a hospital, but I don't know what's gonna happen. So I'm just gonna kind of save my money for right now. And once everything kind of like settles and, you know, we can go back to our normal way of living, then I will be aggressive with the mortgage. So up until this point, I have paid off over $60,000 in interest and principal. My mortgage went from being $150,580 to now $99,999. And I was so excited to see that number because I've been working so hard to get to that number. My goal for 2020 was to get it down to $75,000. Again, I don't know if I will still be able to reach that goal. I'm going to try, but if I don't, that's okay because I'm just so happy about where I am right now. Some of the things that I've done to help me get to this point as quickly as I have is, one, I am not married, I live by myself. So between the 2 hospitals, I'm able to pick up a lot of shifts, you know, outside of my normal hours. If they're calling me and I feel like working, I will, because I know that's more money that I could throw towards my mortgage. Also, I think I'm still a little bit of a shopaholic, but throughout this journey of paying off debt, paying down my mortgage, I kind of ran into minimalism, and I'm not a minimalist by any means, but I have adopted some of the rules I guess you could say, to minimalism. And so because I've done that, I have started to look at my purchases a little bit differently, like when it comes to clothes and shoes and things like that. Like, I'm more intentional with things that I buy, even though I used to be a shopaholic. I was never a hoarder, but I was more of a collector. Like, I had to have like a whole bunch of purses and shoes. It was always like in the clothing department that was my problem. So instead of like going shopping for those things, like, they didn't bring me as much joy after finding minimalism. Paying down debt, paying down my mortgage, now the things that excite me, you know, looking forward to a healthy financial future is what excites me now. So that's where all my energy is going. I'm not saying that I don't buy things for myself, but because my attention has shifted, I now have more money that I could put towards my goal of paying down this mortgage. Whereas before, I felt like that was holding me back because I always wanted the new thing, the new cell phone, the new whatever that was out. Whereas now I don't care what anyone has to say. Like, I have a really old car and I'm always having people, not always, but it's been many people that have told me, man, like, I know you work 2 jobs, like, you really need to upgrade your car. And it is an ugly looking car, but it gets me to and from work or wherever I need to go, and I've never had any problems with it. So for me, I just can't bring myself to go out and buy a brand new car when I'm still paying on a mortgage and my car works just fine. But you know, before, things like that used to bother me, whereas now I'm just like, these people don't understand. Like, I am trying to build, you know, something not only for myself, but like future children and their children. Like, I want generational wealth, and maybe that's a lot of pressure to put on a $150,000 house, but I just figure like paying down my home, being completely debt free, can open up so many doors for me, especially being, you know, fairly young. I still have a lot of time to grow financially. So I'm really looking forward to paying down this mortgage. Oh, sorry about my cell phone. Also, some of the things that I'm changing or still working on changing to help me have more money to throw towards my mortgage is eating out. That's like a big thing for me. I'm always on the go. Like I said, like, I'll work whatever shift, whenever. And because of that, I find myself always on the go. And I've kind of forgot about me for a little bit, so I was like always eating out, and that's been like a big thing for me. So that's one of the things I am aware of, I'm working on, just because I spend so much money. Like, literally 1 month I added up all of the money that I spent. I think it was month March for my budget. I spent like almost $400 on eating out. I mean, going to restaurants and eating fast food and things like that, and I still buy groceries, and I'm just like, that's crazy. Like, you can't do that. So the less I do those things, the more I'll have money to put towards my mortgage. And the reason I'm telling you guys this, if you're following me and you're excited about paying off your mortgage and you're wondering how I did it or how I am doing it, these are the changes that I've made in my life. Like, you have to commit to it and you have to be gazelle intense about it, because if you want to pay down your mortgage, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be so worth it in the end. Can you imagine, even if you paid your mortgage off a year early, 5 years early, like, that's still better than having it for 30 years. At least that's what I think. The earlier you pay it off, the better. Now, you don't have to be as intense as me, because I understand, like, you know, there's single moms, single dads, like, they can't work as much as I'm working. Or, you know, some people have a whole family and there's more expenses. I get that. I'm just kind of telling you guys what I've done. But there's so many stories on YouTube about people who have gone through all the baby steps, who are probably just like you, who have a family, or who is a single mom or a single dad, or who's living by themselves. Like, there's so many people on here. So I don't want you guys to ever feel like, oh, she's only doing it because she doesn't have any children and she's single and all that. But you can do it too. You just have to make those changes and be committed. Like, this is something amazing, paying off your mortgage early. Like, I never in a million years thought that I could pay off my mortgage by the time I was 31 years old. A 30-year mortgage by the time I was 31 years old. Sometimes I look back on it and I kind of wish that I would have started, you know, a lot earlier, and I would have been more responsible with my money, but it's okay, you know, it's never too late. I really hope that this video has inspired someone to want to pay off their debts, to want to pay down their mortgage early. And if I did inspire you and you are gazelle intense about paying off your mortgage early, leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you're doing to help you pay off your mortgage early. Anyways guys, that's all that I have for you today. I really enjoyed making this video. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. And if you want, you can always follow me on Instagram. I do post a lot about mortgage payoff, skincare, and things like that on my Instagram. But again, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. And I will see you in the next video. Take care guys. Bye.